Hello all of you wonderful people, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, and if there's one thing I will never understand outside of how to style hair being as bold as I am, a wee babby, it's the obsession with Funko Pop figurines. Now don't get me wrong, if you like the idea of covering your room with 1,000 dead plastic eyes watching you sleep, then good for you, but the amount of space, the near infinite versions there are to collect, and the fact that they can cost a near arm and a leg is just too much for me. Also, I swear, a living soul must be harvested to feed each one of these little demons. But you know what, don't take this as too serious a critique, as I collect Warhammer 40k, which is essentially the same principle, overpriced plastic of cool people. So you know what, take that with a heavy dose of salt. Also, if you like Warhammer 40k and board games in general, check out my channel that I've got here, which is called Live and Let's Dice. Still though, on our movie and TV channel, I did a video a while back on the most expensive Funko Pop figurines that you might actually own, and we thought, why not show the comic channel the same love by unearthing gems so valuable they make the Infinity Gauntlet look like cheap tat. I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are the 10 rarest comic book Funko Pop figurines and how much they're worth. Number 10. Batman Metallic Silver, $2,000. While it's more than a little surprising that a Batman figurine is at the bottom of this list, it has to be remembered that A, it's still worth $2,000, and B, it's worth $2,000. Or at least that's the official price average according to Funko, though estimates vary between $1,750 and $2,000 plus for the Silver Dark Knight, which should actually be called the Not-So-Dark Knight if we're being honest. However, this price can somewhat be explained because there were only 108 of these made, and because the model was a Hot Topic exclusive. Still though, for around $2,000, the only ones able to afford this in the first place are only likely to be Juicy Bruce the Batman, aka the 1%er. Number 9. Joker Freddy Funko Glow-in-the-Dark, $2,000. On the other side of the coin from the Dark Knight, we've got his arch-rival, who actively seeks to cast a sickly light on anything around him. Now, for some reason, a lot of the rarest Funkos are actually glow-in-the-dark, because, I mean, why wouldn't you want something that is both expensive and an eyesore all rolled into one? Well, actually, this one in particular does have some extra love in that this is the classic style Joker and has hypnotic eyes and a thematic crown for the Clown Prince of Crime. While the average price for this figure is around the same as the metallic Dark Knight, the scarcity of this crowned villain means that copies of it are being sold for as much as $12,000 on the internet, for anyone that desperate to get their hands on this particular version. Number 8. Freddy Funko Joker The Dark Knight Glow-in-the-Dark, $2,030. Continuing a trend of expensive glowing clowns, the Dark Knight version of the purple and green prince beats out his sibling by a mere $30, proving that the hype for the Dark Knight trilogy is still well and truly alive even long after the film series was complete. You could also argue that it's a bit more aesthetically pleasing because the white eyes add an extra spooky factor. I mean, just what you need when you're trying to sleep, right? While he's still nowhere near the most expensive Funko on this list, seeing Heath Ledger's Joker in figure form, complete with a tiny playing card, is sure to put a smile on any comic fan's face. Number 7. Deathstroke Glow-in-the-Dark, $2,320. Deathstroke appearing on this list of most expensive comic figurines is a particularly surprising discovery, as, for the most part, the most pricey Funkos tend to be of incredibly famous characters or from incredibly famous films. Not that this fella isn't cut from the same cloth, it's just that he does stand out a fair bit when going alongside the rest of the Justice League, which I know he's not a part of. I'm just saying that in terms of how iconic they are. Don't get your panties in a twist. So why is this stroke a man with the Midas touch when it comes to Funkos? Well, because A, the figure is glow-in-the-dark, and as I've said before, that is where the real moneymaker apparently is, and B, because this was an exclusive release at the 2015 San Diego Comic-Con, and even then it only had 24 copies of it made. Number 6. Deadpool Freddy Funko Orange, $2,360. Continuing San Diego's monopoly on expensive Funkos is the orange variant of the Deadpool Freddy Funko, which sees the company's mascot wearing the outfit of the iconic Marvel mercenary, which is altered slightly in color to match Freddy's ginger hair. While it is weird seeing the child-friendly Freddy wielding a samurai sword, we presume this is part of the appeal of the figure, which would explain why it retails for the considerable price of $2,360. This Funko was only available at San Diego's 2014 Comic-Con, where a mere 24 copies of the figure were printed, which naturally makes it incredibly alluring to Funko's substantial collector community. Number 5. Batman Freddy Funko, Black Suit, $2,640. Returning once more to San Diego, the birthplace of the artificially inflated Funko market, here we have the Dark Knight in a slimming black suit, which was randomly distributed to those lucky enough to get the already extremely limited Batman in classic blue suit, of which there were only 200 made. Anyone lucky enough to win this Bat lottery should find themselves sitting on a secret treasure, as the figure now runs from between $2,500 and $4,500, which easily places it amongst some of the most expensive Funkos in existence, and it's likely to only get more pricey as time goes on, given how unlikely it is to ever be reprinted. Should anyone be willing to grab the figure's cheaper blue version, they will still find this also sits with a hefty $1,000 price tag. Number 4. Ghost Rider Freddy Funko, Metallic, $3,390. We hope you're not sick of hearing about San Diego Comic-Con, as this figure was much like the prior Batman one printed for the 2013 convention, and there were only 12 metallic variants that snuck their way into lucky con-goers' hands. So you ask, why does this figure run for a good $1,000 extra than the black Batman suit, despite them being printed at the exact same time and in the exact same rarity? Well, there are two reasons. The first is that the figure is metallic and is therefore on the scale of cool 1 iota higher. And the second is that it's the goddamn Ghost Rider, arguably the coolest dad metal design on the planet, so of course people want this more than a man going through a midlife crisis and dressing as a bat. In all seriousness though, this is just a factor of the market, as when rare Funkos are bought, the price is largely decided on how many of these buyers are willing to sell their new prized possessions, and crucially, also how much they think the figure is worth, because at the end of the day, the seller dictates the market, and whatever they think they can get away with will set how ludicrous these prices can be. Number 3. Tony Stark Metallic, $3,500. Your pleas for a Funko that was not made at the San Diego Comic-Con have fallen on deaf ears, because we're back there again. This time in 2012 we saw the production of a Tony Stark Funko that was released to celebrate the new Iron Man film. While the regular model runs for $2,080, this pales in comparison to the 12 metallic variants of the figure, which now sell for a humble $3,500. Of all the various expensive comic Funkos, this one actually makes some of the most sense. After all, Iron Man was the first film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and given how much this franchise has exploded in popularity since then, it makes sense that memorabilia from when it all started is now worth a huge chunk of cash. With Tony's spoilers incoming, 3, 2, 1... death in Endgame, it'll be interesting to see if this particular figure remains pricey after Iron Man stops being the face of Marvel films, or if it'll plummet like our spirits upon watching his fate play out on the big screen. Number 2. Green Lantern Glow in the Dark, $4,500. Of the assorted weirdness that hides in Funko's considerable catalogue of figures and other assorted sundries, one of the single weirdest things to have become incredibly valuable is the Green Lantern glow-in-the-dark figurine. Now, on a practical level, this does make total sense. It was sold at the 2010 San Diego Comic-Con, it's glow-in-the-dark, and it's of a famous comic character. But this all totally ignores one crucial fact. It looks like absolute arse. This appearance seems to be the case of the manufacturer dunking the figure into a pot of paint and calling it a day, and as a result, it certainly doesn't look like a figure that is worth $4,500. And here's the best bit: not all of the model glows in the dark, only the mask and the lantern badge, meaning that you've got a Green Lantern who looks like he's just been gunged and doesn't even have the decency to blind you in the darkest night. And number 1, Stan Lee Metallic Signed, $30,000. And now, finally, you can breathe a gentle sigh of relief, because the number 1 entry on this list is not, in fact, related to the ever-popular San Diego Comic-Con. No, instead, it's significantly more tragic, as the most expensive comic book Funko is that of a figure of Marvel legend Stan Lee, signed by the creator himself. The figures were created in 2015 and came with a hefty price tag, which then skyrocketed in 2018 after his death. Now, just for a moment, consider that you had 30 grand in the back pocket just burning its way through your jeans. What would you do with that wad? Well, you could put a down payment on a house, go on a ridiculous holiday, pay for your mum to get a facelift so I might sling her a sympathy bolo. You could do so much, and yet you could also buy a tiny shiny man in a box that you will never open and must protect at all costs. All joking aside, it's an amazing piece of memorabilia that immortalizes the iconic and widely lauded father of our favourite superheroes. So if you think you can justify the expense, then you know what, friend? More power to you. And there we go, those are the 10 rarest comic book Funko Pop figurines. I hope that you enjoyed that, my friends. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, and I hope that you have a fantastic day, whatever you get up to.